Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, where today we will go over my top 10 wide receivers for the 2022 fantasy football season in a full PPR format. Why in a PPR format, you might ask? Well, that's because John Denver was really full of shit, man. That's why. Anyways, as you remember from my last video, I was supposed to tell you my list of receivers while being waterboarded by David Blaine. Well, to my relief, Lord Voldemort has defeated David Blaine at the annual Wizard Ass Kicking Contest. So David is no more. I just have to wash Voldemort's robes for a year. No biggie. The guy can't smell, so he won't notice when I don't wash them. Anyways, let's get to the list. Let's get it. Number one, Justin Jefferson. The number four receiver of last year's PPR fantasy season is my pick for number one. Now look, if you want to take Cooper Kupp as your first receiver, I can't blame you. This is literally a coin flip for me. But I chose Jefferson because of two things. One, I don't expect Cooper Kupp to put up nearly the amount of points he put up last year. And two, because of how much more high flying the Vikings offense will be this year with their new head coach, Kevin O'Connell. Couple that with Justin Jefferson having more receiving yards through his first two seasons than any other receiver ever. I can definitely see him taking the next step this year on becoming the solidified number one receiver, not only in fantasy, but also in the NFL. Number two, Cooper Kupp. What can I say about this guy that isn't already known? His historic 2021 season is something that will be spoken about for at least 2 more years. But until then, we can bask in his glory. He won the Triple Crown in receiving, leading the NFL in receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns. Goes to show you how a great quarterback can really elevate a wide receiver. Like I said earlier, taking him as your number one receiver would not be an issue at all. At this point, it would be a matter of preference. But either way, you won't regret taking him, wherever you decide to take him. Number three, Jamar Chase. This guy really has a chance to be a very special player. He's got speed, elusiveness, and could literally catch a 50-yard bomb on any play. He had a tremendous rookie season with an 18 yards per reception average. Prone for the big plays, Jamar should only get better in this offense, and the rapport he has and has had since their college years with Joe Burrow. Expect Chase to be hitting home run bombs all season long. Take him at three before he scores a touchdown. Number four, Devonta Adams. I really like Devonta Adams. On my early rankings, I had him at three over Jamar Chase. But eventually, I decided, you know what? I would really like a double cheeseburger. So I went and got that. And when I came back after I ate, I decided, nah, Chase over Adams. But it is extremely close. Adams is an extremely talented receiver. But in my opinion, Rodgers was the reason he was ranked as the number one receiver in fantasy, year in and year out. But don't get it twisted. David Carr is a more than capable quarterback. But with the amount of weapons available for Carr, Adams should take a bit of a dip. But still, at four, he should produce enough to return value. Number five, Stefon Diggs. Everyone thought, including myself, that Diggs was going to be a top three receiver last year. Now, don't get me wrong, he had a solid season, but it didn't go quite like we thought. With that said, he still put up 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns. Not bad numbers by any means, but not what people thought he would do, especially because of where he was getting drafted. But being in this offense with that guy, Michael Jeffrey oh, sorry. I was going into my Skip Bayless bit. Man, it's late. Anyways, with that guy, Josh Allen, as his quarterback, he is definitely worth getting at five. Too much upside there with a pretty safe and valuable floor to calm the nerves. Number six, CeeDee Lamb. Now, perhaps we were a year early on predicting Lamb's breakout. Everything was there last year: the high powered offense, the good quarterback, the great opposite side receiver. it was his year until it wasn't. Only having an 18% target share last year was definitely a culprit, but not everything. This year, I expect that target share percentage to go up significantly with no more Amari Cooper. I also expect the Cowboys to be in a lot of shootouts, so CD should see deep balls often. Get it? Lamb is too talented, so at 6, I'm comfortable with the risk upside. Number 7, Deebo Samuel. Deebo is one dynamic player. I wasn't too high on him last year, but in the back of my mind, I was like, you're making a mistake. And boy, was my mind right. He was the receiver too and had an average of 18.8 PPR points per game. And he didn't only dominate through the air, but on the ground as well. Nearly 30% of Samuel's points came through his rushing. Most likely, he will not get the same amount of carries this year as he did last year. But no matter who his quarterback ends up being, he's too good to overlook this year. 7th is the place for Deebo to go. Number 8, Tyreek Hill. And keeping in topic of dynamic weapons, Tyreek Hill certainly fits the bill. When he was paired with Patrick Mahomes, it was literally like combining C4 and dynamite. They were absolutely explosive together. But with all that, he was the receiver 6 last year, which was a bit under the expectations of what people thought he would do. And now, having a downgrade at quarterback, he might not be the Hill of the past. But he can certainly still produce explosive weeks for you. Just don't be surprised if you have a 10 catch, 150-yard game one week and a 2 catch, 30-yard game the next. If Tua somehow takes that next step this year, Hill could be a league winner being drafted at 8. But draft with caution and lowered expectations. Number 9, Keenan Allen. To me, Keenan Allen seems like the safe pick. Number 1 receiver in a high-powered offense, great quarterback throwing to him. He will get his targets. Even with Mike Williams ascending, I feel really good drafting Allen in the top 10. With at least 100 receptions in 4 of his last 5 seasons, his floor is extremely high. His ceiling is what is a bit capped. But I'm okay with that because of where this offense is trending, which is up, in case you didn't know. Plus, I see him catching more than 6 touchdowns this year. 9 is perfect for Allen. Number 10, Mike Evans. Here, the GOAT's number 1 receiver is here. Well, at least until Chris Godwin comes back. We shall see. But either way, Evans just seems to be touchdown prone, which is definitely a good thing in fantasy. He grabbed 14 touchdowns last year on just an 18% target share. Now, logic says he would regress this year. But just like politicians, logic is full of BS sometimes. So I don't think he will. Tom Brady should continue to put up big touchdown numbers this year, and Evans should continue being a beneficiary of it. I expect Evans to be in the mix in practically every red zone trip. And with an excellent offense, that's always a good recipe for fantasy success. Evans at 10 is a bet. Again, if you like my content, like and subscribe and comment. Anything your beautiful little heart desires. I will keep posting all season long. And like I said before, I'm no fantasy expert, but I love this stuff, man. So I really do my due diligence and make sure to give you the most accurate information possible. Plus, I play in some big money leagues. So I really make sure to have the best possible information for myself and also to give to you. Well, until next time, have a good one.